we heard from Ben McAdoo a little bit last week. He did the interview with Peter King. He also went on in that interview to talk about the decision that he had made to bench Eli on December 3rd, which ended, of course, Manning's 210-game consecutive start streak. I was not ending Eli's career with the Giants. I was making sure we knew what we had behind him with a high draft choice prior to a big quarterback draft. I gave him the option to start the games to keep his streak alive. I understand why he said no, and he was a true pro about it. My bedside manner hurt me that week. I'm working on that. I do think it was special how his former teammates and the fans rallied around him that week. Do you think, does that sound like a man who has come to terms with the decision? He's at peace with it?
It sounds like a guy who shouldn't have been a head coach. It sounds like a guy who, quite honestly, just doesn't have any idea as far as how relationships are really supposed to be conducted, especially when you're talking about a franchise quarterback, a multiple-time Super Bowl winning quarterback, and someone who deserves a little bit more respect than, you know, after the fact, you giving the explanation of, well, maybe my bedside manner was a little bit lacking and wasn't up to par. That's ridiculous. Look, I look at it like this. You know, Davis Webb is someone who maybe they should have found out about earlier in the year in training camp, in OTAs, when you had some preseason games in August to see where they were at with him. Because, look, this is something that you're doing as a head coach and as a general manager. So this falls on Jerry Reese as well, the former general manager. You're always looking ahead. You're always anticipating what's coming down the road, not just 1 year, but maybe even 2-3 years down the road. So you needed to know what Davis Webb had as far as a skill set, as far as a actionable skill set, so you knew what you were going to do once the season was over. You don't start doing this in the middle of the year and then at the same time, or rather at the end of the year, and at the same time also telling people, well, we're also here still trying to win football games. It just sounds like a very convoluted, mismanaged message. And I don't really know what Ben McAdoo was trying to do with this, you know, with coming out and making some of the statements that he's made on a wide range of topics, because to me, it just sounds very misinformed, unprepared, just like his head coaching tenure was, be honest with you.
He has blasted some teams. He's now sort of having a catharsis, I guess, in interview form with his bedside manner.
He's even taken a shot at Baker Mayfield recently.
Yeah, so what is he doing? Does anyone want to venture a guess?
You know what? I'll tell you what he's trying to do. He's trying to stay relevant, as many people do when they make comments like that. And he's relevant now. That's for sure. He's got my attention, although maybe not in a great way.
Wow. Louis
Riddick fired up.
No, you know,
straight to the point, too, though.
You know what? It's just one of those things, man. Look, I understand that, you know, everyone has opinions. We have opinions. And sometimes we say things that people maybe say the same thing about me or about you as I'm saying about him. It's just that as a former head coach, and as someone who's been around some of the great head coaches of all time, it just sounds like he never really has a plan, just like he did when he was a head coach, for really what he's trying to get done. And that interview didn't sound like he really thought about really what he wanted to say, or maybe he did think about it, and that's just truly how he feels. It just kind of struck me the wrong way, that's all.